What if I told you Genghis Khan conquered more land than any empire in history, not simply by fighting, but by frightening entire nations into surrendering before a single sword was raised? Imagine an army so feared that cities opened their gates without resistance, rulers fled their palaces overnight, and whole populations abandoned their homes rather than face them. This was not only a military force, it was a psychological storm that swept across Asia and Europe. And the secret behind it was not just strength. It was terror, calculated and controlled. Most people believe the Mongol Empire was built through constant battles. They imagine endless horseback charges, arrows filling the sky, and cities burning. But the truth is different and much more fascinating. The Mongols often won long before their armies even arrived. Their reputation traveled faster than their horses. Fear became their most powerful weapon, and Genghis Khan understood this better than any leader of his time. He did not only conquer with soldiers. He conquered with stories, rumors, and the imagination of his enemies. To understand his strategy, we must step inside the world of the 13th century. A world without phones or newspapers. A world where news traveled by word of mouth and fear grew with every retelling. If someone said the Mongols were unstoppable, people believed it because there was nothing to challenge that idea. When one city fell, the news spread like wildfire, each story becoming more terrifying than the last. Genghis Khan used this natural fear to shape the battlefield long before he stepped on it. Let us look at how he did it, step by step. When a city resisted Mongol rule, Genghis Khan made an example of it. The destruction was not random. It was intentional. He ensured survivors would escape and spread the news. These survivors would run to nearby cities and speak of Mongol speed, Mongol discipline, and Mongol wrath. The more terrifying the story became, the more Genghis Khan benefited. Soon cities surrendered automatically. Some even sent gifts and loyalty pledges long before the Mongols arrived. Why fight a battle you already believe you will lose? The Mongols moved faster than any army of their time. Their horses were small, but incredibly strong. Each rider had several spare horses and switched between them. This allowed them to travel at shocking speeds. Enemies often heard rumors that the Mongols were still days away, only for the Mongols to suddenly appear at their gates. This speed created panic. Rulers could not prepare. Soldiers fled. Civilians abandoned their towns because they believed they had no chance. Fear mixed with shock created the perfect psychological advantage. Genghis Khan controlled information like a modern intelligence agency. He used fast messengers to spread warnings ahead of his army. These warnings were simple but effective. Submit peacefully and you will be spared. Resist and face destruction. These messages created an impossible choice for city leaders. Surrender and live, or resist and risk annihilation. The Mongols did not need to fight every battle because the threat alone did the job. When a city chose to resist, the Mongols used foreign engineers to build massive catapults, fire launchers, and battering machines. The sight alone shocked defenders. Imagine seeing strange machines rolling toward your gates. Machines that could throw huge stones or flaming pots of oil. Many cities lost morale just by witnessing this technology. They believed no walls could save them and often surrendered before the weapons were even used. Genghis Khan sent scouts ahead of his army to gather information. These scouts observed weaknesses, spread rumors, convinced locals to turn against their leaders, and created confusion inside enemy cities. Some scouts even pretended to be fleeing Mongols to trick leaders into thinking the Mongol army was weak. Once the city lowered its guard, the real army struck. Fear turned into chaos, and chaos turned into quick victory. After a few conquests, the Mongol reputation became unstoppable. Entire regions surrendered without resistance. Kings gave up their power. Armies dissolved. Merchants paid tribute willingly. This domino effect allowed Genghis Khan to expand his empire with surprising speed. In many regions, he did not even need to draw a sword. Terror had already cleared the path for him. So did Genghis Khan win through strength or through fear? The truth lies in the combination. He had a powerful army, but he also had unmatched psychological intelligence. He knew how to turn fear into a weapon and how to make stories fight his battles for him. His genius was not only in destroying cities, but in preventing battles before they began. That is how he built one of the largest empires in human history. If you want to dive deeper into his tactics, his secret communication networks, and how he maintained control over such a massive empire, watch the full video on my channel. There is much more to uncover about the man who changed the world not only with swords, but with strategy, psychology, and fear.